I said, don't you mean digital dick print? All right, we're gonna do a rundown. All right, I got this belt from Yu-Gi-Oh.com. Are you okay? Did you just have a seizure? It's like being like, okay, Batman, we're gonna take away your legs.
No, it's like, okay, Batman, we're gonna take away your bats. I'm like, this is just man.
I'm gonna ride the bang, yeah. I'm gonna fun America gay again. I be rapping like I'm adopted by Bruce Wayne, dressing in tights, but they say that I have been looking kinda gay, making money at the tranks every day.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Folks, we are back on another episode of Banks and Tranks podcast season 2. That is right, folks. We got even renewed. 1 year.
We got a whole new season.
We're not even 1 year into the Trump presidency, and we've already been renewed, which, I mean, is not surprising.
I mean, as the fastest growing podcast, it's not surprising.
Right. So I am your host, Suhaib Ansari, and I'm with my guest,
Akif
Ansari. Yes, we are related to Aziz Ansari. He's actually the one that taught us name design originally, but we'll get into them. So we're doing it a little bit differently. I know that
I think our podcast has like a topic now. Would you say?
Yeah, we have like something that we're going to talk about. We have something that we're going to talk about today, and that thing is name design for today. So within the purview of a full writing and lifestyle podcast, today we're going to be telling everybody about what makes something good and what makes something bad, right? Turns out not everything is made equally, right?
Well, I believe in equal rights.
You're right. That's a different thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, name design, I would say name design changed my life, because ever since I coined that term in 1983, I was like, anytime I name something, like, and I'm like, yes, that's the name. It's name.
Did you invent time travel?
Yeah. Then I'm like, yeah, it's name design.
Did you invent time travel to go back in time to invent the term name design in 1983?
No.
So how'd you do it in 1983?
They write history books about me, and you don't even read them anymore. So
you were born after me, and I was born in 1999.
All right, let's just get into the real topics. So, host, could you give us a good topic for today? Off the list.
Are you telling me what to do?
No. What?
Let me tell you something. When we were growing up, this was the bossiest little brother alive, man.
Good.
Which is crazy. How are you a bossy little brother? I don't make any sense of
It makes a lot of sense, because it's like, okay, so when you come out the womb, you already have kind of an idea of like the life you're gonna live and everything, at least in my experience. So it was really easy to just say, okay, everybody. I mean, when I was a baby, people would just do shit if I asked them to. Like, oh, when I want some food. Food delivered right to me. When I want to go to the bathroom. Diaper right in my fucking pants. Everyone just like hailed me as a king. So it was really easy to just be a boss.
Right, that is true. You are one of the few 2-year-olds that went from being 2 to 3 and became a millionaire.
Exactly.
So you're not a loser. Exactly. You weren't a loser.
I'm not a loser. So it's real easy to be me now.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's just the thing is I don't really like bossy people, because I don't really like my boss.
Oh. Why not? Wait, can you say that on the podcast? I know he might be watching.
I think I probably can, because I recently got fired.
Oh my God. So you don't make any money anymore?
Well, I mean, really, I wasn't really making money in the job anyway. I had to start this podcast so I could really pay for my bills, and I'm making a lot more money here. If you watch episode 2, we actually explain how
to make money at your job.
Back when first season of Banks and Tranks was a little different, because we were more like a lifestyle advice, like
self-help, political help, TV shows.
No, we were a self-help podcast. That's what we were. Okay, we just got distracted.
by Hooters.
And today we're going to be really focused.
We have a thesis.
We're there's only one thing that we're talking about today. Well, that's not true, but
yeah, we are talking about.
But
lots of
it's
stuff.
it's
That's
like
interesting.
there's one main thing. So, yeah, but basically, the thing that happened with work is it turns out, and this. So I know I kind of lied to you when I said, "Oh, we got renewed. That's why we're season 2." But the truth is that season 1 was supposed to be like, 50 episodes. That was the order that the network gave. Yeah, the network gave a 50 episode order.
So we're still on season 1.
No, what happened was we actually, after episode 4, when we went to Hooters, we got canceled because my company, and please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me.
No, I'm just listening.
My company, they were a bit disturbed by the fact that we were plugging Hooters, right? I think that might have been part of it. They didn't really explicitly say that. So when they got me into the meeting, I was like, okay, so why are we having this meeting? Why is Daisy from HR here? And they told me, listen, we had to let you go. We had to, we don't have room for you here. You have to work somewhere at a different factory from, yes, you got me. It was the Whitey Tidy factory. And I no longer work at the Whitey Tidy factory. And
well, I'm happy I was right, but I'm also sad that you don't have a job.
Sure. And yeah, so yeah, that conversation was really tough to have. And what they said basically was, we saw some of your podcasts, so I was really worried. And they were like, yeah, we're not really satisfied with your digital footprint, because as far as we're concerned, if you're going to be putting yourself out there and you're also a representative of this company, you have to own up to the fact that you work here at the Whitey Tidy factory. You were in total denial of the fact that you were working at the Whitey Tidy factory constantly. And B, you're putting the products of other companies over ours at the Whitey Tidy factory, such as Hooters, Steak, Bumble, Hinge,
Grinder,
Instagram Reels. I'm trying to think. PETA, right? Like all of these different companies, Fiji Water. And speaking of which, I got some Milano double dark chocolate cookies here. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored ever.
And Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Ew.
It's not a diet Dr. Pepper. I'm trying something different.
Why? It doesn't have sugar. They just put in like Splenda or whatever. Oh my god, drinking that on the podcast, vile, disgusted.
Yeah, so essentially from that point forward, I was kind of panicked, and I thought I only have one opportunity to save my place at this job. So I had to do it. I had to say what was really on my mind. And I said, when they told me, we're worried about your digital footprint, I said, don't you mean digital dick print? What was that reaction?
It's just, I went back, I saw the old episodes, and I keep seeing this. I keep seeing this like motif.
What motif?
What? Well, I'm just saying, okay, well, so you mentioned this digital dick print, and HR was there. Were you trying to lighten the mood, or like what?
Yeah,
what was your goal?
I thought it was funny, right? Because at the Whitey Tidy factory, my real job at the Whitey Tidy factory was to.
What was it? Were you
sorry? I'm laughing at how funny that my joke really was, and it's just so embarrassing that they didn't laugh at my joke. But the thing is my job at the Whitey Tidy factory was Did you
deal with like stretchiness?
Can you let me speak my truth?
I just want to know what your
because we want to be able to clip this later, and we want it you to be able to tell the whole thing.
Okay, yeah,
and then you can say what you need to say about it. Okay,
I didn't interrupt for 100 hours, and now
just let me.
Now when I want to interrupt, now everyone's so mad at me. Yeah. Sure. Finish your story.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak.
No
I
problem.
really appreciate it. Yeah, so essentially my job at the Whitey Tidy factory is to analyze the Whitey Tidies and work on the fabric.
Drink Dr. Pepper, that's why I mix it with a perk.
It's to analyze the exact weavings within the fabric in order to accommodate for different dick prints. I am basically a dick print engineer.
I think we should be allowed to laugh on the podcast. New rule. I think we should be allowed to laugh on the podcast because that is crazy. But I also knew exactly where you were going. I knew exactly,
That's
and
why
I
you
kept laughing.
Because
It's just we're putting together so many concepts of a podcast that nobody has seen.
dude. Okay, so let's. All right, and scene. All right, so let's analyze that last scene that we did on the podcast. The thing that we were actually trying to do is that for the last few episodes, I've been talking about the dick print has been a mystery of what my job really is. I've been saying I work at the Rap Factory, and finally I get fired, and I'm talking about a digital dick print now, and the HR is right there, and I get in trouble with HR because that counts as some kind of sexual harassment claim, I believe. And now
You would not be mistaken.
in the middle of all of this stuff, I'm trying to bring the joke all the way back around. Why do I keep mentioning dick prints? It's because I'm actually a dick print engineer.
Yes.
Because my job is to analyze the fabric on the Whitey Tidies to ensure that it can accommodate for different dick prints.
What we want to teach right now is
Name design.
Well, yes, name design, but so in the fact that the Whitey Tidy factory, like the name of it is total nonsense. But also what I wanted to say was the idea that with a joke, you can tell a bad joke and then you can tell another bad joke. But if you keep saying them over and over again, eventually they become references. And when you put them all together, at that point, you can't even stop laughing.
Yeah, at that point, they've turned into a much bigger joke than what they were before. What's brilliant about the digital dick print, building off of the dick print joke,
We should coin this. We should call it the Dick Printology.
Spectropatronum.
The Dick Printology.
The Dick Printology. So this is actually a subgroup of name design.
Yes.
Right? Digital dick print was actually an inspired name design. When I heard digital footprint one time, I was sitting around and he said, digital footprint. And I said, what if I said digital dick print? And this was also way after how this idea really started. Is I was like, what if
there was
we're coming up with a bunch of different guys, right? And we're like, okay, there's a guy who does this. There's a guy who like sits in the bathroom for too long, and you try to like yell at him, and then he just starts to like take even longer and starts throwing a tantrum from the bathroom.
Not based on real life, totally fake.
Yeah, and other guys. And I said, I was thinking it was a guy who's trying to convince everybody else that he's gay when he's really straight by always talking about dick prints. And
oh my god, this is going to go into the crap factory.
Why is this even turning off?
I don't know. So it's from the crap factory.
So look, the important thing about this situation is we eventually, I said, we can make a guy that's always talking about dick prints, and this doesn't land with Akif at all. He's like,
I think no, that's weird. Why do you keep doing it? But he said it so many times.
I kept being the guy
that I was just. I
turned into the guy.
It
that
was in
saying,
places that didn't make it. It was like, oh, let's talk about it in like we're talking about Breaking Bad. It's totally unrelated, and then
it's like Walter White. He's in his Whitey Tidies, his tidy Whiteys actually, and right. I'm just like, look at that dick print, right? I think you could use that to cook some good like lean meth,
right?
And
this also evolved into you having to take an MI test on the podcast.
Do you think that having an optimized dick print could like really help you navigate a meth lab in such a tight vicinity, right? Because then you're not knocking anything over with your dick print. There's a lot of sensitive equipment there.
There's a lot of sensitive words in that sentence. Let me just find one. Equipment. Name. Dick print.
Okay.
I'm putting this all together. I would say no.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
Because most people wear their pants in their meth factories.
That is actually a fair point.
But
I don't really think about that. But what?
oh, I was just thinking about ass. Yeah. What?
So, I saw that they're going to introduce a new Avatar show.
Oh yeah. They're on like Earth
Earthbenders.
now. Yeah.
There's gonna be there's gonna be twins.
I was thinking about it. I was like,
one of them is gonna be the Avatar.
I saw the fans were requesting that they do twin ones, but
it wasn't a fan thing. It was actually a rumor. It was actually a leak. It turns out it was real.
Oh, I thought it was like a leak. I thought it was like a fan thing, and then they caved and they just copied.
No, it was a leak. And that was just what they were going to go with, and they didn't have enough time to change it.
So, do you think it's going to be like one of the avatars can bend and the other one can't?
No, I think it's going to be
maybe one
avatar.
can do water and fire, and the other can do earth and air.
No, one of them is the avatar, and the other isn't. That's what they already said.
Oh,
yeah.
But then they both earth bend.
Yes, they're both. I mean, yeah, you can have a sibling that earth bends,
that sucks. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so they're both earthbending is a pretty good bending. I wouldn't.
No, but it's like I'd rather have all four.
Right, but there's only one person at any given time that can have all four.
And I'd want to be that guy.
Right. So,
but
with
yeah,
that said,
I mean,
a lot it was an interesting note when they revealed the new Avatar series that's coming up is that they say, oh, one of them is awakening to be the Avatar, but it turns out that's not. People think that's more of a danger than it is a hero, right?
See, and I think it makes sense because when I watched Legend of Korra, everybody was saying this is the worst Avatar ever, and in the show they also said this is the worst Avatar ever.
Yes, so it seems Korra really might have ruined the reputation of what an avatar is within the Avatar world. It kind of ruined the reputation in the real life world. A lot of Korra fans were really upset about this result. They one of them was actually saying, why couldn't it be Aang? Why was it Korra, not Aang is the terrible bender? And
wait, what's wrong with Aang?
Nothing. They just are.
Oh, they're just like
the Korra
like thing.
Their account name was Korra Sami fan #1. Okay. It's just like what the Billie Eilish fans. It's the fans of, Beyonce.
Everybody has a fan except for us. Where's the what? Actually, you know what? Name design. What are we gonna call the Banks and Tranks fan club fans? What is their name?
I feel like it's pretty clear. Bankers and Trankers.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. Works for me. I can't really think of anything else that works for me. Hazik, you're not on this podcast.
The fit. I think we can cancel the lithium plot.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And we're back. Looks like my Amazon package delivery came in, so I had some new stuff to try out, and yeah, I'm really excited to wear it everywhere. Feel like a new man,
Oh,
yeah. All right, so
anyways,
we were talking about.
So what I wanted to say was, I feel like I personally think that I'm somebody that would say The Legend of Korra is not as bad as what everyone says it is.
But it's also not that good.
But I'm still saying I think it gets overhated. For sure.
I think there's definitely different teams, right? So we can talk about overview of Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra is about a young woman named Korra who has been founded to be the new successor to the Avatar, the previous Avatar being Aang. She now has to harness the ability to bend all four of the elements: earth, fire, water, and earth. Oh, wait, no, I already said the one, air. That's perfect
makes sense
because she could only do the first
bad
three.
At air.
She could only do the first three originally, and she had to, basically, spoilers, but she had to spend the whole first season to even be able to do airbending at all.
But then the rest of the show, it's like, what are you doing? You already became the Avatar.
Well, we can, again, we can break that down. What went wrong? What could have been done better? I think. And also comparing it to Avatar: The Last Airbender is also like not. We won't lean too much into it. We do want to treat it as kind of a standalone, but yeah, so Korra, and she is raised in the southern
water tribe.
Was it the southern or northern? This is the southern one, right?
I don't remember.
It's one of the It's one of the water tribes, and she's raised there. And she learns. She's able to do all of the bendings except for air as soon as she figures out that she's the Avatar.
Yeah.
Which is weird. She's like a little toddler.
She's like a 5-year-old doing like all the bendings.
Yeah, and following that, she's actually kept sheltered there and trained for most of her life, and she decides to escape. Her main mentor is actually Tenzin, who is the grandson of the previous Avatar. The son.
But he's just really old.
Sorry, the son of the previous Avatar.
Oh, you just reminded me of the grandson of Aang, that fucking toddler that like farts all the time. Oh, I will not defend him. I don't know his name. We'll just call him Fucker.
Right. And, it turns out, too, that Aang had a few other kids, too. He didn't even know that.
Yeah, I don't think he did know that he had other kids that weren't the non-airbender kids.
Yeah.
I think the other kids were like...
They didn't give a fuck about him. I mean, like, Tenzin just looks like he's just Aang. But like J.K. Simmons voices. But like J.K. Simmons, he looks like J.K. Simmons.
He looks more like
J.K. Simmons and Aang.
Yeah.
I kind of hate this fit because it kind of reminds me of Dr. Disrespect.
Okay, then respect him. I don't care.
Okay. Well, I guess this is what we're gonna have to deal with today.
This is your life now.
I am not a rapist. Just to make that clear.
Has any rapist ever said that before?
I'm just saying I look like Dr. Disrespect right now, and he's
no, but I'm saying like if a rapist says I'm not a rapist, then I go, you're definitely a rapist.
Sure, but I'm not a rapist.
Can I see your rapist record?
Sure. There's
God.
There's no record.
Oh, okay. We're good.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Are you okay? Did you just have a seizure?
Yes.
Are you sure we weren't saving that for season 3?
No, it was just a little baby seizure.
Okay.
It's like a seizure salad. It's fine. We're fine. Just keep going with the podcast. Just keep going. It's fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Do you want some Parmesan on that seizure salad? No. Okay. It was just a joke. I got you. You just admit it. I got you there. That was a good one, right? That was a good one.
Parmesan. I have a real affliction, and you're really not taking it seriously.
I have a real affliction too.
Well, I guess we're affliction brothers.
It's called bad bitch disease.
You're just not taking me seriously. I wish I had my puppet right now. He would tell you off. He would.
You said that you didn't want to have your puppet on this episode.
Yeah, I don't. It's a lot of work to do the ventriloquism.
Where is he? All right. Well,
anyways.
So look, here's the thing about Korra. In season 1, after she frees herself from the temple and then goes to the main city, the Earth City. Wait, it's not Bossing Say. That's not where it is. Whatever.
It's in Republic City.
In Republic City, right? That's the new city that was founded by Avatar.
It's just New York City,
and it's like New York City. They somehow went 500 years into the future within the last 100 years. They did a bunch of development thanks to
whatever.
And then you just see there's like, dude, they have entire assembly lines.
Metal bending.
Everybody's metal bending.
Electricity.
They have entire assembly lines of like lamos doing electric bending and all this stuff. Like anybody can metal. It's like so easy peasy lemon squeezy nowadays. And basically, like she comes to the city and they're doing like the sports thing with all the bending, and so she's like, oh, I want to do a sports thing, and then she meets the fucking biggest loser of all time. Okay, and I have to admit, we watched it together. It was named Mako.
Yeah.
All right, the first time I'm watching him in season 1, I'm like, why does everyone hate this guy? You kept telling me this is the worst guy of all
Episode
time.
1 Mako hater.
And I'm just like, why does
defend
everyone hate this guy? I don't get it. And then I kind of start to get him, yeah, you know, whatever. And then once I like,
once he starts like opening his mouth, I'm just
really,
like,
once I stepped away from the show for 1 second and thought about it for like 5 seconds, I was like, wait, Mako is kind of the worst guy of all time.
you know, I
right?
kind of wish people did that more with shows.
With shows, yeah, just
step away for 5
shows,
seconds.
movies too. Like usually when I'm watching a movie, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is great. It really don't ever take your
Don't
opinion
trust your opinion the second you're out of the theater.
or in the theater. You have to
Trust
think
it,
about it for a
yeah,
while,
yeah.
right? Only time I trust
it, the
my
car
opinion,
ride back. The
car ride back
is like
you're talking.
these are the real
You're
thoughts.
talking to everybody. Jesus Christ, my eyes are hurting. But you know, for the sake of the podcast, I'm gonna keep wearing these glasses.
Awesome sauce. That's called commit to the bit. Honestly, fashion over comfort. I've always said this: fashion over
Can you hand me
comfort.
my glasses.
And I've always said that: fashion over comfort. And I keep saying it. I'm just always saying it. I'm just like fashion over comfort. Fashion over comfort. I'm just always saying it.
Sorry.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Fashion over comfort. I think instead of comfort, you're doing fashion. Awesome.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Mhm.
I'm so glad you're doing fashion over
Mhm.
comfort.
Yeah. So,
anyways, let's talk about the worst show ever. I don't even like it. Actually, I like it, but it's like not. That
it's
much.
okay, man. It's
not
just
that much.
It's
overhated, not overrated.
Yeah. So
mid.
You know, let's break it down.
What do you hate the least about Korra?
Okay, so we start by the strengths of Korra. One of its strengths is animation.
It's good.
It has come on, let's like for a Nickelodeon cartoon.
It's really good in season 1, but it like gets slightly worse over time.
It definitely gets worse, but
it's definitely
it has
like
its moments, right? In season 3 when Zahir is
Yeah.
doing his whole shit.
Yeah,
it's animated pretty well there.
There's definitely
and Korra going crazy
for a kids cartoon, and generally speaking, yes, very good animation.
I think I thought it was cool to see. I wouldn't say there's like great world building, but I would say that it was cool to see the fuck. Why would you shut down? Why would you go to the? Oh, that's why. It's not on the chart.
Oh, this is the worst character of the podcast, is the monitor. He doesn't even talk. What a bitch.
Then it would just die, and then we would just lose this entire amazing conversation and this amazing podcast. Everybody, please watch the Banks and Tranks
podcast and leave a review in the comments down below about how much you like our podcast.
Yeah, so
or leave a hate comment so we can know how to improve our podcast. Both.
Yeah, hate comments are great for that.
I love hate comments.
Hate comments have always been really productive at explaining to us.
Love hate comments.
And now here's our hate comments here's our love comments first for
like mid
respect comments. Yeah. One thing about Korra that I also like is
she has good fashion.
Early on, it had a cool story. I think season 1's plot is pretty solid. It doesn't end up fantastic, but it's like it's good. It was a nice shake up from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Having a non-bender thing going on, that was a good idea.
Yeah, non-bender is a villain. Having just one villain for the season, I think that was a good choice too. I think that just gives the writers a lot of like flexibility and give them like ways to explore different ideas and aspects, which they do throughout the entire show. Which I respect that they attempted to do that, right? I think there was a lot of ambition behind this project, and that might be one of the downfalls. That might be why they weren't able to make it a super
biting
great
off
show.
More than they can chew.
Oh, for sure, right? Think of how ambitious of a project you really look at season 3 is. The whole world has changed because the spirits have been entered into the world. They like totally shook up the status quo.
Airbender now.
There's a lot of airbenders when previously there were like no airbenders. They're giving us an airbender villain. That was crazy.
That's new.
They had like the terrorist organization. That was cool. That was an interesting concept of not just seeing a villain, but like kind of like a ragtag, really anime style villain organization. Something that reminds you of like a Katsuki from Naruto or the Espada from Bleach. I like that they leaned into things that you don't normally see in Nickelodeon stuff and introduced it to a whole generation. And they
Murder.
Murder
That's
was
always,
a big one.
That's always been on Nickelodeon. You ever
SpongeBob doesn't count.
You ever watch the Kids' Choice Awards?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of murder there.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a lot of people survived that green slime.
Only Ariana Grande.
Fun fact, 30% of people that get slimed on stage
die
of
cancer.
Of slime cancer
from the slime,
and that's just the cross they have to bear.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I used to think I really want to be a Nickelodeon star.
I used to want to be on the Kids' Choice Awards so the kids could choose me.
Literally,
as the
everything that has happened since then has made me be like, I don't want to be a Nickelodeon. I'm so glad I wasn't a Nickelodeon star. They don't even make much money. Jeanette McCurdy, if you want to be on our podcast, by the way, I know you've been on every podcast. You love talking about your
mom. Hey, we can talk about our moms.
I think that would be great.
We can talk about how wish our mom put us on Nickelodeon.
Right. Yeah, that's totally what I thought you were going to say.
But now we don't think that anymore.
By the way, the title of her book is My Mom is Dead, and I'm glad that she is.
That's what I was referencing. I'm fully aware.
Oh.
I read the book page. Actually, never read the book.
Okay. Yeah. I think these rings smell fucked up, man. Don't be getting jewelry off of Amazon, man. Don't do that shit.
I just think Korra has a lot of fashion, but not enough comfort.
It does have cool designs. I think the character designs are good. I like how they go for a more mature art style. How would you
consider your own character design? Like rate your character design right now. Your own design.
All right. We're gonna do a rundown. All right, I got this belt from Yu-Gi-Oh.com. Got this chain from Amazon.com. Got this shirt thrifted from the thrift store. Okay, we believe in thrifting.
Life. I thought you thrifted it from the prison, the Stanford prison experiment. I thought that's where you thrifted it from.
This shirt thrifted. These headphones, I stole them from my ex. That's actually true. That's actually like these were hers, and then I took them. But these headphones.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, actually, I've only been telling the truth about how I've been getting this fit. Except for the Yu-Gi-Oh.com thing, I got the belt from like Uniqlo or some shit. I got these pants from somewhere. I actually don't know where. I got these glasses off of Amazon. I got this hair. I bought this hair, this hat off of Amazon.
You're not wearing a hair. Never were.
Okay.
Maybe when we get transplants off Amazon, then yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Yeah. So, I would say, I have a better character design than anybody
in Legend of Korra.
Right? But we're not here to talk about character design. We're here to talk about name design.
Right.
Yeah. I would say I think we've covered basically what's good about the show. What else is good? Oh, there's kind of a gay relationship at the end, but we don't even. They just hold hands and go into the spirit portal or whatever.
Yeah, it's not life changing enough.
I thought it was really cool when she's in the cage and she doesn't have any of her other bendings, and it's so like perfectly set up that she has to learn how to airbend, which has been the whole conflict of that entire arc. Then she learns it and she's freed. I like
when she uses her dragon fire powers. Like she goes, and it's fire.
Yeah, I liked some of the cameos, except for Toph. Toph was just kind of sad to see.
Toph was like, oh, why is she a cop now?
Yeah, she's like a cop, and she was like a horrible mom. That I can believe.
Sure.
The cop stuff is kind of crazy to me because she was like,
she was like, I just want to break the rules. I don't want to go to school. That was her.
Yeah. And I like seeing Zuko. He's just so chill now.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Such
Zuko,
a chiller.
I mean, you can never get it. You can never get the Zuko wrong.
Oh, yeah. Play the... Jamathan, play the clip. Roll the clip.
Which one? What?
Yeah. Zuko edit that you made that we found in your... hard drive.
What? What? I didn't make. What?
Yeah.
I didn't make that.
Yeah.
I didn't make a Zuko edit. What the heck?
Okay. We didn't see Azula though.
Yeah, that was kind of. I actually kind of wish we did,
It would have been cool to see like a reformed Azula
or like bring her back as a villain. I don't care.
yeah, bring her back as a villain.
Bring
I
her
think
back.
would be a
I
great
don't
idea.
care.
Sometimes they're like too eager to repeat old plot lines, and sometimes they're too scared to repeat to bring back old things. And I've noticed it's
definitely.
always whenever it's like a good thing, they don't bring it back, and
But
whenever
when
it's
like
a bad thing, they do bring it back.
They upped the romance plot up to 5 million. They did like 10 love triangles.
So
Anytime
I feel
there
the
was,
whole
like,
the whole thing with
annoying
Korra,
flirting, I was just annoyed.
the whole thing with Korra. Before we really get into the flaws, let's get into the main structure of Korra. Okay, so it has 4 seasons. Season 1 is Korra against the non-bending troop who are like, oh, we think that bending is not good, and technically the villain was
a water bender.
The villain was actually a water bender that knew how to do blood bending, without
the moon,
full moon, or the moon. Yeah, it's the full moon, right?
Yeah. Without that, yeah.
And yeah, it's a solid story. It's not amazing, but I think it gets the job done. And originally, it was supposed to be a limited run series. Then it got renewed for season 2, and then they did season 2. Season 2 had it actually. This is actually one of the strengths. I forgot to list this. The Avatar lore.
Oh, the old
phenomenal.
That Avatar.
Listen, man. Legend of Korra overall probably like a 5 out of 10. Legend of all Avatar. Legend of Korra only with the Avatar lore part.
Avatar 1.
Avatar
number
1. 19 out of 18.
Yes.
Yeah, 11 out of 10.
18 out of 19. We give it an 18 out of 19, I'd say.
I would give it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was.
Oh, no. That's the whole thing plus 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so swag that we got to see the origin of the Avatar. Because
I just wanted to see more of him.
We didn't necessarily need to have it explained to us what the Avatar is, how the Avatar came to be. And not only did they explain it, but then they gave us a really satisfying explanation for how the finale of the original Avatar: The Last Airbender worked, because we saw that he gained soul bending from one of the turtles. It turns out all bending comes from, spirit bending. All bending comes from different turtles.
Yeah.
Which that was cool, because it was like, oh, he would have to go one by one to borrow their power, and then eventually when he fused with
my problem with that thing is, in the before they said that the animals and shit were what taught people bending, but it seemed like they went back on that a little bit, because in Airbender they say like the moles taught earth bending.
Well, I will say though that in the Avatar: The Last Airbender, they didn't necessarily they didn't have the literal spirit of the Avatar explain how everything came to be. It was just like that was the lore that they understood, right? You know what I mean? Like we could sit here and say this is what happened in the era of
was
Jesus.
Was it like theory of evolution versus Bible 2 type?
Well, I wouldn't make that comparison. I was actually making a biblical comparison. Is we have the story, whatever happened to Jesus, what happened, we don't really know. But there's a lot of different interpretations of what happened. Muslims have their interpretation. Christians, obviously, they have their central interpretation. And Jewish people, they also had their concept, and he was supposed to be a representative of the concept of the Messiah. So everybody has totally different perspectives. We don't really know what truly happened there. It's all a matter of opinion. And I think that's kind of more like this would be as if we got a glimpse into that era, right? And we actually saw it for real. And we don't know if maybe the animals got the bending from the same source too.
See, that is maybe what it is. I don't know if the animals got it from the turtles and then the animals gave it to the people.
Or maybe the turtles were just one of the types of animals.
There was another one, because they said they learned water bending from the moon, I think, in Airbender. Look, I don't know about the lore that much. Overanalyzing Avatar.
They don't
overanalyzing Avatar, that YouTube channel. If you want to be on the podcast, that's a good addition.
Look, we don't know the truth. There could be. I
would ask him. He's a scholar.
I think the lore, the lore that we get, right, in Korra regardless is really cool, even if they had to retcon stuff or if it was. My interpretation is that that was the real story and everything else was people just saying stuff because a lot of it was folklore. It was like, oh, we learned long ago how to bend water because of the moon. It's like that's like an oral tradition that's been passed down. How do you know that the oral tradition is true? It could have changed, right? Unlike the Quran, right? Because that's not just simply an oral tradition. That was a very deep. They memorized it and then they wrote it down. So clearly no flaws there.
Ramadan Mubarak, guys, if this comes out.
This comes out
in a week before today.
No, it comes out on Tuesday. It's going to be still before
Ramadan Mubarak in a week.
Okay.
I'm just getting real excited.
It's only going to be 2 days from when we release it.
People can wait.
All right. It is a week. It's a week from when we record it. Okay, so you can say that.
I won't. Anyways, right. Yeah.
So, Korra, season 2 is more about that spirit stuff. Getting into that, they have that villain,
have the
Unavatu, whatever.
Get him out of here.
The villain is just so lame because his whole thing is he's just like the shitty Fire Lord.
No, he's a bad version of the guy in the last season because he's just another waterbender guy. But I don't even know what his goal. His goal is, I want to be the dark avatar.
Yeah, it's
shoot a laser beam through my chest. Boring. I'm just like, okay, Hitler.
And one thing I thought was a very bold action to take, but I don't agree with it still. Was removing her connection with all of the past avatars.
All the avatars
and then basically turning her into the weakest avatar of all time because now she doesn't have all of the skills of all the other avatars. I don't like that. I understand thematically why you could go about doing that, right? Honestly, I have my reasons for not liking it. I don't think it's one of the major flaws of Korra for sure.
Well, one thing I actually like about it is that it's something that is kind of weird, but it pays off in the next season when that becomes the reason all the airbenders are back. But honestly, people hate.
That's not the reason why all the airbenders are back.
Yeah, no, it was because it was because they did the weird spirit thing.
Yes, when they opened up the gate to the spirits, that was like the whole conflict. And then she decided not to close the gates. She was like, the spirits and humans are going to live in harmony.
Yeah, okay, actually, yeah,
that's how. But
that was something where I thought that choice was kind of dumb because it's like, what was even the point of this whole season? But then it was like, okay, this actually led to something. I do think people in general hate that she severed the connection so bad. I feel like the creators would cave and just like make it so the Earth one somehow brings it back. That's my theories.
Probably. Yeah,
everybody hates that. Like,
so
choice.
Okay, I'll actually explain why I think it's not only is it wrong, I do think it is emblematic of what is wrong about Korra overall, but we'll get to it once we break down, kind of go through the seasons. Season 3 is a pretty interesting season. It's about they're guys that want to assassinate the Avatar. They failed. Now they want to do it again. And it's like really going over the concept of why should we have the Avatar and all this stuff. The problem is that he's fucking stupid. Like Zahir, he's really cool. He's got a lot of aura points. He's badass. He gets airbending. That's really sick. He learns how to fly. Oh, come on!
Oh, what is that?
Oh, that's not important.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
When he learns how to fly, the whole thing where in his like, okay, this is like such spoilers for the whole show. Like, the whole
that's
thing
what we're talking about.
But when his like wife or whatever dies and then he just starts flying, I'm like, oh my god!
And it's because
he lost all
connections. Yeah, he lost
doesn't have anything.
And
earthly. He's Mr. Buddha.
You get perfect context if you add the context of Avatar: The Last Airbender and you compare Zahir to Aang. You really see, like, because Aang's main conflict was his connections to people and how the previous avatars kept telling him, "Oh, you need to sever your connection. You can't love."
But he liked Katara too bad.
Yeah, Katara and all that stuff. Like, you can't do that, right? And then we see Zahir, and we kind of see that it really they try to like really address that it could have really been a horrible thing if Aang lost his love for Katara, or if he lost her.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of seems like they've went back and they saw the failed concept of the dark avatar in season 2, and they made a real dark avatar with Zahir, and
so
they redeemed themselves.
Yeah, then they show kind of anarchists in this season, and then they show their clear failure of being able to achieve things. And then in season 4, after they tried to assassinate Korra, which, by the way, their plan for assassinating Korra was like they almost succeeded, and Korra fucking sucked for letting them get away with. As far as
it was like, we're gonna put metal poison in you, and we're just gonna kill you. Like, we're just gonna murder you. Like, and make it so there's never an avatar again.
Right. Because when you kill them in the avatar state, then they die forever. Which that seems like
it's kind of like in video games, you die in the game, you die in real life. But I'm like, why is this an avatar?
I want to understand, why would that happen if I thought spirits don't get this. I don't know, fucking. I'm not gonna get into the lore. I don't care about the depth of the lore as much as I care about these story writing decisions. These characters barely have enough agency to be able to handle these problems. And what are the side characters doing? They're not doing anything.
Chemistry with each other.
They don't have any chemistry with each other. They are just. They feel like this. Shitty version of the old people, right?
Yeah.
They're just like
caricatures. We can't do Sokka exactly, so we're gonna make Earthbender.
Yeah,
Sokka.
We're gonna put the Earthbending in Sokka, and then we're gonna put Toph is not gonna be there, and And what is Mako? Mako is supposed to be
like fake Zuko,
but also he's supposed to be a bitch.
It's like the only part of Zuko they knew was that that he was like emo, and then they just were like, they're all caricatures.
Yeah,
of the season 1 versions.
Yeah, it's like they just weren't the original creators involved in the creation.
Yes, they.
How
were.
did they? Where?
I don't know if it was like. Maybe it was something like one of them wasn't there.
I think they're like a
tag team. It's like,
did they not rewatch
like,
it?
Imagine Banks and Tranks.
Right,
imagine if you remove the Tranks, and it's just like Banks. The fuck? That's not even halal. That's like they do the interest and all that.
Yeah,
not even.
Astaghfirullah.
A
stuggy, bro. Like, yeah. So that just happened.
All right, let's get on to what's
so season 4 fucking is trash, and this I'll never forget this.
Okay, I don't think it's as bad as season 2, but it's not great.
Oh, season 4 almost has the same plot as season 2. They build a giant guy so that they can have giants fight each other. That's literally like half of these seasons is Attack on Titan,
because
mecha
then they
anime
have the
shit.
Police officers do the thing too.
Yeah, they literally Season 4, they introduced the villain in the middle of season 3, and there's a bunch of just politics, Earth country politics, and Toph's sister or daughter.
Like the
daughter.
Queen
Toph's
died.
Daughter. What am I talking about? The Queen died, and there's a power vacuum, and so
Toph's sister.
Yeah,
this old lady.
I was tripping. Toph's daughters. They were the daughters were the sisters.
The daughters were sisters. Toph's daughter's sister.
Because one of Toph's daughters is a cop,
like a fake,
and then the other one is like the queen of the Earth
of Metaltopia.
Of Metal City.
Yeah.
Some Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
You can really tell we've seen this show, but not recently.
It's been a few years. What they say is like you have to have 2 women at the court so one of the women can remind the other if they forgot what happened.
You know what they say? Testimony. A woman can't divorce a man.
That's in Islam, by the way.
No. What they say in Islam, a woman can't divorce a man unless another man is able to mediate the whole conflict.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hey,
really
I didn't write
it. Ass religion, man.
I didn't write it, so don't come for me,
dude. Okay. The main points here. The villains are bad. The characters are bad. The story writing is very like loose, and worst of all, Korra, she has a character arc every season that is the exact same character arc, which means that they have to regress her character at the start of every season.
Yes.
It's like some like Kingdom Hearts, like Sora lost
Sora
all of his
lost all his
powers.
memories.
Except at least Sora gets character development. Sora objectively has character
At least
development
Sora
in the
is
Kingdom Hearts series.
likable.
And he's very funny, right? He's very fun. He's likable. He says the funniest shit ever.
But Korra, her main personality traits are
Annoying,
emo, and I need a kissy kiss on Mako. Oh, Mako.
Yeah, they were
doesn't
trying
like
to
me.
appeal. They were like, oh yeah, the kids that watch
the
Avatar: The Last
teens.
Airbender, they're like not kids anymore.
They're all hormone driven.
Teenagers that are gonna watch this, and that
because of their hormones.
That's probably true. The 12 to 15-year-old kids, I think, were
I feel like hormones.
It
makes sense that they'd watch because of their hormones, but I'm like, oh.
And essentially, they really wanted to make everything so mature that they spruced up the animation for different parts. They were like, this is going to be basically a shonen anime, but except it's going to also be a shoujo romance anime. And they just didn't know what they wanted.
Pick a hill and die on it.
Yeah.
Choose a hill and die on it.
For real. That's our Malafor for today.
Malafor.
It's just total nonsense.
Yeah.
The kind of and then so after covering the 4 seasons, the going back to that idea of her severing her ties, or her ties with the previous avatars being severed. First of all, it was such an important aspect of season 1 that she had connections to the previous avatars. But I will say that I do think a lot of people, they were complaining that she was over relying on like
that
Aang
is true.
coming in to do
one
this.
Time she used it to like win a race, and it was like the avatar state is supposed to be used in important situations.
Yeah, and she told Aang Aang gave her all of her bending back and all that stuff.
Yeah,
basically resolving even though they could have set up for so many seasons of. I know that they didn't know that they were going to have more seasons, but they could have kind of forced it. I don't know.
I feel like what they could have done is, instead of, they always made their endings very closed, but having more open and ambiguous endings would let them be able to be okay for, ambiguous endings, however, ones that are actually satisfying, to allow for progression past the season that they end up actually getting not getting canceled on, because that was the thing, is they kept thinking they were getting canceled and not getting canceled, and it's like, well, now we have to do an epilogue that's more show, even though we already kind of finished it.
Yeah, because really the whole story was wrapped up by the end of the first season.
Yeah,
so we just had all these brand new things that we needed to cover in the second season, and they just had to make up a bunch of random stuff, and they had probably a pretty tight timeline to do it, because I think it was released only 1 year after the first season wrapped airing. So
yeah, I'd say
I understand there's a lot of constraints, but like, regardless of constraints, we should consider what we got, right? We should consider what should be different, regardless of whether it was in their ability or not to change it. And yeah, so my problem, this whole build up, my problem with her losing her connection to the previous avatars, as much as yes, she really relied on her avatar state and those previous avatars helping her out, is I feel the core premise of the avatar kind of requires them to be an avatar, right? That's the meaning of the word.
That's the name of the show.
That's they're reincarnated entity. It's like part of their. It's like being like, okay, Batman, we're gonna take away your legs.
No, it's like, okay, Batman, we're gonna take away your bats. I'm like, this is just man. What is man doing here?
Honestly, yeah, it would be like, imagine you're watching You're watching Begins.
Man.
You're watching Man Begins, and he doesn't have a symbol on his chest. He doesn't have the bats in the bat cave. He just has cave.
I'm just like,
he doesn't have the bat signal. He has signal, and it's
everything.
Where's the aura?
Right.
What's the point of this? What makes it unique? What makes it?
Is just being a rich tech bro at that point.
Yeah,
that's like my least favorite type of.
And then it's lame, but instead the bat adds like to the brooding, to the edginess, to like, oh yeah, he's not really like the other tech bros, really, because he didn't have his parents growing up at all. He didn't have anybody. He had to actually build up some of his own like
he had a butler
wealth. He did have a butler. He had to learn a lot, and he had to deal with his trauma on a daily basis, and he is wants to prevent other people from experiencing that same trauma by protecting the city that he grew up in. And
But like, what's Korra's excuse?
yeah, and what's Korra's thing in season 1? Korra is the avatar. That way, it's like, okay, she there's somebody that she needs to be. There's somebody that they want her to be, and but also she doesn't have to be the exact same as those previous avatars. But they're still a part of who she is. They're still a part of who the avatar is. That's what makes the avatar the avatar. That's what allows the avatar to protect people. That's what allows the avatar to maintain the balance of the world. That's Spider-Man losing his spider. He's just a guy that leaps around on buildings and has strength, super strength. He chose to make to shoot those webs. That was a choice that he made to fit with the aesthetic of being a spider. He didn't have to do that, but he did because the spider
he
means
got
something.
hella bitches that way.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the problems, was they were so focused on, we need Korra to be her own unique little character. And so they never did it by adding things. They did it by removing things.
It was always like, let's do the opposite of what we already did. But it's like, you did a lot of good stuff. The opposite of the good stuff is bad.
Yeah, they took, as I was saying, they took the approach of stripping down rather than building up. And that, I think, is the core problem with the writing of Korra, is they would not give it enough time to really build and breathe and give us new ideas. And there were times where they would, and then they wouldn't build on those. It was like, okay, we have the spirits here, but what are they? They're just going to give people airbending. All they do is just create a new status quo that's almost the exact same as a previous status quo that we know existed once in that world way before, when there were a lot of airbenders before they got genocided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You just seem lost.
No, I'm just like, you were talking.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm also like, how long have we been talking about Legend of Korra?
Dude, we just keep getting distracted.
All right, on to the next topic, I think.
No. We're not on to that. We don't just go on to the next topic. Jesus. Okay,
wrap it up.
You haven't actually given your opinion on what you don't like about
30
Korra.
things.
We
just talked about like 50 parts of Korra.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm sick of Korra.
We're okay. Well, we haven't talked about how we would improve Korra, so I'm gonna do a quick.
So switch to me.
What?
You would make Korra better by lots of stuff. First of all, stop doing all the romance stuff. The romance stuff was boring. Second of all, make it so that Korra doesn't regress all the time. Make it so that she becomes a better character and finds new actual character struggles to get better at, and finds new problems instead of the same old problems that are boring and it's just repeating the same part. And third of all, make it so that instead of all she's doing is fighting this like very like cartoon villain of the
random
week
guy that pulling out of Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. Make her have an actual like presence that she's fighting in the same way that Avatar had what was his name? Ozai. Ozai was like looming presence over all of them, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is the guy. But then there was like small villains coming up too.
Yeah, make like, more episodic episodes.
Yes,
make more one-off good episodes.
Too serialized, and I get it. Avatar, the original series, is good because of the serial elements, but at the end there was still, even when it was like in its most serialized part, it still had like Ember Island players where they were just like doing like a fun like Fire propaganda, Fire Nation,
yeah, which was amazing world building. We don't have any of that level of world building in Korra. Because again, they don't progress anything, they don't build anything, they just keep trying to pick things apart. Yeah. They laid out in the first season, it's the Avatar world, but now it's like more like our world, and then they did nothing with it. And then my last thing that I would add to improve Korra as a series is Korra should really have the Avatar journey. So it's laid out that every Avatar goes through the Avatar journey. That's a big part. The plot in the first Avatar in Avatar: The Last Airbender
Is his
isn't
journey.
it isn't that I have to stop Ozai. It's I have to go through the journey so then I will be able to stop Ozai. Korra doesn't go through the journey. She goes through the whole journey magically in the first season. She doesn't learn how to do her bending by learning it from the people. She's stuck in the island for her whole life, and the only reason they did it is because you got it so spot on. It's literally they just want to do the opposite of whatever they already did.
That's what
it's like a subversion of it. But instead of doing that, just do the things that worked and then improve on them and make it better and add details to them, right? It's that simple. That's what every good anime does, right? Every good shonen anime does that. Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. Naruto, it struggled at some points. In
Well,
Jujutsu Kaisen
I guess because
too.
Korra is more of a Boruto type, and
Korra is just kind of Boruto,
and I'm
isn't
just
it?
like, oh man,
Yeah,
whose
maybe-
favorite anime is Boruto?
Which it's crazy though because Korra just had so much more potential compared to Boruto. Not to linger on Boruto, but its biggest flaw is that he looks exactly like Naruto, and you're like, okay, so this is just Naruto 2.0. But then it's also not Naruto 2.0. But then it is also Naruto 2.0 and worse. So it's like whatever. Anyway, stop making bad stuff. If you want to get good at writing, then
Watch
you should
the
check
Banks
out
and
our
Tranks
sponsor
podcast.
for this episode today, Tattoo Name Designing. Folks, this is
my
really
God.
cool that our
How did we get these guys? Like,
topic...
how did these guys get us?
I think it's awesome that our topic and our sponsor is the same thing. Today, we have been tasked...
awesome.
We've been tasked by Big Tattoo to come up with new types of tattoos. So, take it away. Well, you were saying something very important in a investor meeting with the tattoo guys about a specific type of tattoo. Oh my God, what is this? Why only 5 people?
I don't know. Like that.
Okay, so we were at the investor meeting and we were talking about Akif proposed that he would offer to help name design new types of tattoos based on the fact that there's only really one tattoo that has a
name,
which is tramp
stamp, which is so unique because it's like, why does the lower back tattoo from Charlie XX, why is that the only one that has a name is tramp stamp? It's just,
we don't even know.
I don't even know.
Nobody has any idea.
So let's come up with some tattoo names. I'll start. Trank Stank.
Trank Stank? What is that?
It's like a tattoo that you put on your belly button, but it can only be of a trank, and it has to be. It's kind of scratch and sniff. It's the very world's first scratch and sniff tattoo. Trank Stank. What do we think? Oh my God, you took off those glasses. Am I hired?
I think we can do better name design than that.
Oh,
look, folks, we've been wondering what is name design, right? We use name design.
They've been wondering.
I'm using we as in them. They are we.
You're wondering.
The audience has been wondering, what is name design exactly? You've been talking about name design this whole podcast. What is it? And now allow me to just emphasize.
Can I explain it?
Well, you can explain it, but I want to emphasize. Look, Banks and Tranks. We had to come up with that name, and it took us years of name design to settle on this one.
Oh my God.
We were like, we're going to make a podcast. It needs to have a fantastic name. And you don't just come up with the name of a podcast out of nowhere. You need to
really build it up.
Yeah, you need to put in the effort to give it good name design.
And that's something is, I think nowadays in this economy, I feel like people are putting less and less of an emphasis on how important the name of something is. But if you don't think about it, or if you do think about it, the name of something is how that thing lives on in the legacy, and after it dies, that's what it's called. You name your kid Melinda, it's a death sentence. They've already died before they're even born.
I knew a woman named Melinda.
Kill her. Just
kill
her.
I actually, here's a fun fact. This is the thing about Melinda, is she worked at a tattoo parlor. She's actually worked for the same tattoo company that hired us to design kind of the new types of names.
She might be helpful.
Well, the thing is she was making a tattoo. I was getting a trank stank one time, and even before you coined a brilliant name, it's not scratch and sniff though.
We have the technology. Why wouldn't we use it?
That's a good question. Yeah, that might That might be important.
Sleep
later.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I slept on it. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Oh my god, thanks.
Look, the trank stank is a awesome idea, and I was getting it. And when she was putting in the stank part into the scratch and sniff of my trank stank. So this is how you know it's a real story because
Because it happened. Because it happened to you, and you have details that it happened.
It slid off of my fat body, because it's so smooth.
Because oh my god, you have so much surface area.
Yeah, so much surface. It slid off, and then it fucking stabbed her in the eye. And now she has a trank stank on her entire face, right? Like no.
Wait, but that's sick.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can I have one?
But then she died from it.
Oh,
you can die from having a trank stank on your face. Yeah, that's why you're not supposed to have it on your face, guys. That's the thing. Melinda, I think that trank stank is officially the Melinda killer of the century, guys.
I was just saying that we should name stuff with a good name, like not Melinda, but now that she's died, it's like what I said, that's the legacy she's left off is on her tombstone it says, sorry. She said she apologized on her tombstone, I'm pretty sure. Sorry. Died from my trank stank. Absolutely not phenomenal. I would say this is phenomenal.
Not a phenomenon.
Not a phenomenon.
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, trank stanks. Well, so I have a suggestion too. I think you're going to love this one. I think we should do the nutcracker tattoo.
Oh, like the guy? Like you put... Or what does it do?
The nut. It's like a nutcracker, right? You ever cracked a nut? Not bust a nut. That's a different thing.
No, it's like the guy from the musical. Like, I wish I had it. He's like a guy, and you put a nut in his mouth, and he goes.
Oh, you're thinking of the nutcracker. No,
what?
I'm talking about modern nutcrackers that you actually use to just crack nuts, like the ones that they have it's like a joint, and then you use it to crack a nut.
Isn't that what? Wait, but I thought everyone just uses the guy. Like I don't have one. I just use my thighs. I use my thighs. Most use the guys. That's what I say. You ever cracked a nut with your thighs?
Whoa. I bust a nut with my thighs.
Yo.
Don't
tell that Mario Kart story.
Look. No, it's so the nutcracker shape is just kind of I know, you can like it's a tattoo. You could put it. No. There's no mouth. 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 You can put a nut in here, right? You know how you can crack the nuts with your thighs? You can put a nut right here, and then you can crack it when you flex, right? So I was thinking, what if we had a tattoo that kind of represents that idea? It's a nutcracker because you're putting it around kind of your shoulder, your elbow joint.
Paint
here.
A picture for me. So
that's what I'm doing.
No, imagine I'm Emelinda. I'm Emelinda, Melinda's dead daughter. Okay. I mean, alive daughter.
Okay.
Melinda's dead. Emelinda.
Yeah.
Imagine I'm Emelinda. I'm tattooing myself. Do I just make like a metal guy? Like, is it? I don't even.
Not a guy. It's not a guy.
I know.
It's a tool.
A tool, right?
It's a tool. It's a tool that's not shaped as a guy.
Guys are tools.
And so look, imagine this. Here's this ring.
No, I get it.
And then
I got that part. I'm just saying, like it's hard because I have to hold the microphone, but it
doesn't have to be a nutcracker. It's just like how every tramp stamp doesn't need to be a tramp.
Oh, so
it's the idea. Yeah, anything that you put right on here is a nutcracker tattoo.
Okay, I got a little bit confused because in the trank stank story, a critical part is that it's scratch and sniff. But I get it. No, I get it. Tramp stamp, nutcracker, trank
and you can put a white guy in here, call it the nutcracker.
That's what I was saying. You can. Oh wait. Oh, do they have to be white? Because like
a racial... cracker.
Okay.
You know what a cracker is, right?
Yeah, like they're on crack.
No, like these crackers are racist.
Yeah, but like it's the guy from the musical. He was white, right? Can you do?
I thought you weren't going to.
I'm big. So I know what I'm talking about here. There's the guy in the musical.
Yes, there is the guy in the musical.
You just said you can do a cracker.
I'm talking about
he's a white guy.
A white person is a cracker.
A white person is a cracker, and the nutcracker is a white person, so therefore the nutcracker is a cracker, so you can put the nutcracker as your nutcracker tattoo.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
Then don't. And that's our next writing lesson. Don't
argue.
If you're right or wrong.
I guess, yeah. You know? and my mom just making a reservation and intentionally excluding me out of it for some
Excluding
reason.
you because I got invited.
For no reason.
VIP.
Yeah, and that's real crazy, right? Because I already paid for your meal today, and now you're gonna get another free meal.
Yeah, my mom, she had this metaphor. This idiom. It's good. It's called akif. It's translated. Your hands are in the ghee and your mouth is in the karai. You know what that idiom means?
No.
It means you're getting fed a lot of food, which is like crazy. I'm like, what a good idiom.
I
wish we
idioms are
had that in
idioms.
English.
Uh,
So yeah, today my hands are in the ghee and my mouth is in the karai chicken. But yeah, any other tattoo ideas? Or here, I'll come up with one. How about this one? It's like it's on your chest. We call it a chest vest.
ooh, that's good. It's like an arm sleeve companion.
Yes, and here's
like
what I'm
a
thinking.
tattoo sleeve,
And
a chest vest.
I just thought of a whole situation. So there's this guy, his name is Chestingen Mingi, and his favorite body part to work out at the gym is his chest. He loves chest day. He goes to the tattoo shop and he goes, "Can I get one of those old chest vests?" And then the tattoo shop guy is like, "Oh my God, I've never been asked that. I've been waiting my whole life to be asked that." And so then he just starts. It's kind of I haven't been to a tattoo shop before because they're a little bit haram. But like if I were, imagine they have like a Sharpie tool. So it's just like imagine a bunch of Sharpie as like a vest, and it's on the chest. But you could do any design you want because it's like clothes. What it's interesting, like a sleeve, it's tattoo that is clothes. And Chesting Mannington was gonna so appreciate this invention.
So tattoo clothing, I think that's also just generally a great idea. But yeah, no, I think that's 3 great tattoo name ideas. But I want to flip it around now, and I want to ask you, like, what's a tattoo that you would get? Right?
Oh, if I could,
I know because you can't. As
because I
a
can't
Muslim,
get these
you can't
tattoos
get a tattoo
out of my mouth.
Right. So what kind of tattoo would you get?
Okay,
What
I've
would you
thought
get?
about this a lot. So
Okay.
this is what I would do. Over in this area, I would get a fire.
And for the audio listeners, where is that area? I'll tell you.
shoulder,
Upper, kind of his upper left
shoulder-ish,
shoulder
like
around
in
his
this
chest.
like little like shoulder chestish.
Yeah, the joint
A
kind.
fire insignia with the Chinese character for fire. Above that, it would be the Captain America shield with the Star of David instead of the regular star, and then just one little tiny microscopic slimy chicken nugget on the shield with like a little bit of slime particles. How does that like? Did I blow your mind away?
I can't lie. That's one of the most badass tattoos that I've ever heard of, man.
Thank you.
Let me just give a second to glaze that tattoo.
For the
a
audio
second.
listeners, I'm bowing right now.
That's maybe, I think, in the top 10 ever created ideas for tattoos. It's got to be up in the top 10.
Thank you.
At least.
Thank you.
I think
so
that's
much.
a great tattoo that anybody can get any age. You're 3, 4, 6.
Well,
In your 20s, in your 30s.
only 3 and up because you have to be a millionaire.
Muslims, anybody can. Yeah, 3 and up. You had to be a millionaire. You can't be a millionaire too.
I'm wondering now, like, I have that amazing idea, but like,
Right.
what would you get as a tattoo?
Probably cum.
What? Huh?
Cum. I mean, you were talking about this whole scratch and sniff technology earlier, and it just became so obvious to me immediately as soon as you introduced that topic to me. There's only.
Hang on. Okay.
For the audio
you just-
listeners, like, he has a really exasperated look on his face.
No. Where would it even be? And you want it to be scratch and snips? You're gonna scratch it, and then
on like my thigh,
it's gonna
like
have
a little
that like raw fish smell, and you're just gonna like smell.
That's not what comes. That's not what my cum smells like.
Oh, what?
Okay, I don't know why your cum smells like raw fish. I don't know what the fuck is going on
does
there.
yours smell like cooked fish? Like, I don't know, but whatever technology they have, like, I don't know.
It doesn't have
anything
to
about that.
look. It would be like a little streak on my thigh.
Next to your
cracking
pee-pee,
when I'm cracking
when
the
you're
nut.
cracking the nuts with your thighs, then there's some,
And then it's just
cum
kind of
tattoo next to your
represents. It's like,
pee-pee.
oh yeah, that's where it came from.
Just let me just process this sentence. So when you're cracking the nuts with your thighs, you're gonna have a cum tattoo next to your pee-pee.
Yeah.
And you swear that under God on the Bible. Oh my God.
I put that on my mama on Shaitan.
Oh my God.
I've switched to Shaitanism recently.
Oh my God, you're a Shaitanist?
Yeah, it's cool. It's chill.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
that's
chill.
actually, I'm actually kind of subscribing to their theories. I feel like they're actually surprisingly feminist, pro-feminist in the Shaitanism.
Yeah, Shaitanism, they're pretty cool.
So,
But
I still, like, I agree with that, but I'm sorry, that's just the most disgusting, terrible, you even want it to smell tattoo, and it's just like little streaks that...
Look, we should have had a guest on the podcast today, because I bet that if we had a guest on here today, they would be like,
I'm pretty
blazing
sure
me for that tattoo
you know
idea.
what? I'll swear this now.
In fact, if we can, I know that we had the scratch and stick, but if we could even get like the texture, like the stickiness in the tattoo. For the guys that are listening to the audio only, he is.
They might think that's sexual. No,
motioning to
I'm
vomit.
disgusted.
He is disgusted by this and is completely appalled.
Okay, it's sticky. It smells. Nah. You tell this to any other person on the planet, and they will call you Mr. Crazy, and I'm gonna call you Mrs. Crazy.
Well, I told my boss.
Is that why you got fired?
When I was getting I got fired because of the digital dick print thing. And which brings me to probably the next tattoo that I would get is like a digital dick print.
Is the tattoo digital? What's next? You're going to make a physical ransomogram?
Yeah. You know, digital dick print is a real thing, by the way.
Really? Is it for OnlyFans only?
Digital dick print is something that I actually coined as a term and made it spread across 4chan. And
I've never heard of that outside of you.
The meaning of the term is, you know, it's...
You're trying to gaslight me into, I coined this term.
I coined this term. I coin terms all the time. I'm a name design expert. I'm an expert at name design.
Yes, we're experts of name design, but none of our words are used outside of this room.
No.
And how many rooms are there for... Like,
and how many rooms
tattoos?
I'm telling you that there's the rooms, the number of rooms inside of the tattoos, and how many podcasts do you think you're talking about? And how many rooms could be digital dick printed onto the tattoo? And how many rooms could be turned into a podcast?
And then you have a podcast in the middle.
How many seasons are inside of a podcast when there's inside of a room?
Or is it more like Zeno's paradox?
Listen, but the thing is that the room has to be inside of the room and then above the room and then on top of the room, and then that's where you get the podcast inside of.
And that's what happened on the Dick Print show, which you're like a big fan of, I think. Ew. Gross.
All right.
So
the next thing, the final topic on today's agenda. Did you see that Beabadoobee? Who, like, first of all, crazy name. We'll get into her name design, but you know, let's cover what happened. She, you know, let's just put it simply, she got rage baited.
Why didn't any of the 10 artists that we put in our stupid ass satire podcast not come for like our rage bait? I feel jealous. I'm jealous. I'm not jealous of Beabadoobee.
I am pretty jealous of the fact that they have not done that yet.
Baiter. That was a very staccato whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like we as podcasters have made a lot of our clips extremely rage baity. We're talking about Muslims.
This is a whole rage bait podcast, dog. I'm wearing
you're Shaitanism.
Really? You look at that, you see this fit? And you think I'm not rage baiting right now?
This is literally just exists so that people can
Are you serious?
People can say, fit check on aisle 15, clean up on aisle fit check.
You know, in 2007, that's probably the first time that I had a fit check.
I feel like you're just going into these different phases. This is so weird, but anyways, Beabadoobee got successfully rage baited, and
Beabadoobee, and it was like, she can't sing.
It's like I keep saying her name, and I'm like, ew.
It's so confusing to me. It was like clearly rage bait. It's like, oh, she can't sing, and then it showed YB and Young Boy NBA.
He knows how to sing.
young boy in NBA knows how to sing, but he's not even singing. He's just doing opera while lasers are shooting out of his eyes. It's
and it's like deep fried.
It's deep. It's like clearly a meme. It's clearly a meme, and she's so pissed, and she's gay baiting people, and she's in exchange for the rage bait.
No, but then also the fact that she was like, I don't know. I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even mad.
Really? I'm
not even mad about
30
it.
seconds into her being mad about it, she's talking about how she's not mad about it.
Checkmate, please.
Look, Beabadoobee. Let's analyze the writing of this situation, right? We don't just analyze the writing of stories like fucking Korra. Hardly a story, by the way. We really, going through everything with Korra, it really started to realize how bad it really is. I might drop it down to a 4 out of 10.
I figured it out. The reason everybody doesn't like Korra is because everybody talking about it makes a review. After you review it, you're just like, what was that mess I just reviewed? And then you just think worse of it. Yeah. I think that just happened to us.
That is what happened to us.
So I'm like,
sure.
that showed. Yeah,
it sucks. That's why you need to have a deliberation. And Beabadoobee, she should have had deliberation before reacting to this rage bait. Yeah. So here are some strategies that we've laid out that are I have a strategy, you have a strategy. So I think if she's going to get rage baited by this, I think she needs to... one of my experts, one of the most brilliant writers, Nikocado Avocado. I'm 2 steps ahead. You're 1 step behind me. Whatever it is, whatever. The creepy ass tone that he has. That's how he responds to rage bait and to people hating on him.
He plays the long con. He's a long con.
He played the long con. And on top of that, it was so sinister. It's like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And then it turns out he was just losing a lot of weight. Beabadoobee, she needs to have that kind of patience, all right?
Are you saying she needs to lose weight?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she needs to lose some of that anger, and she needs to focus... Make this part of an album rollout. Maybe have
an anger management class.
Maybe she should post her own rage bait about how she can sing in response. That would have been better instead of just making a rant about it. And what do you think she should have done in her rage bait?
That's what she should have done. Not cared and just burped.
She should,
Well said, right? Yeah. Good job, Akif.
I guess
Thanks.
That's kind of. I heard something different before the podcast that you were saying. You were saying something she should lean more into. Being angry?
What I'm saying is, I feel like she was really passive aggressive. But
that is true.
She should have been aggressive. She should have been like,
and drop the accent. Nobody's impressed by the British accent.
Yeah, wait, hang on. Is she British? Because I was watching that video and then I listened to her music and I'm just like,
she's British. I think she should use if you're going to react to rage bait, then take the opportunity to make fun of Americans and the way that they react to stuff. Because that's the whole thing. I expect higher of British people when it comes to humor and when it comes to reacting to these kinds of things. I wouldn't expect them to get
British
angry.
People, they like our podcast.
They're just like, they love our podcast, first of all. And second of all, they don't react that harshly to these type of things. Like, it's British people, they're falling apart. Their last one thing that they had, their humor is falling apart, and they didn't get it. She didn't get the joke. She's singing well in the clip. The clip shows her singing well, and then the next clip of who sings good doesn't even show the guy singing. How do you fall for that?
I don't know. I haven't seen as ragey of bait outside of Instagram Reels. Like, since Instagram Reels, I haven't.
It was an Instagram Reel.
That
she was reacting to as well.
Oh my god! Like, as the poster of an Instagram reel that got big because of rage bait, let me tell you, that was obvious. And I do think that she, first and foremost, what I'm realizing honestly is, you know what got to her? Her name design.
I was about to say that exact thing. If she had a better name, then she wouldn't have reacted that way.
No. Think about this. It goes back to elementary school. What was the biggest reason people would bully other kids?
Your name.
Ha 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 ha. Your name is shit on me. Or something like that.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. On your birth certificate, it said Aquif, even though your real name is Akif.
Okay. Let's not bring up my birth certificate, because that's real life. And it does say Aquif. And I got called Aquif. And this is actually... This is why I take name design so seriously, is because name design
were calling me
name design ruined my life.
Okay.
So then I fixed it. So that's why Beabadoobee, like
Beabadoobee, get a new name.
you have
Taylor
to
Swift
say-
get a job.
Taylor Swift got a job. Gracie
Beabadoobee-
Abrams really get a
Get a
job.
job. Yeah, it was really.
And Beabadoobee get a
Get
new
a new
name.
name.
Name change to another.
I think it would be really funny actually if we all just like changed our stage name Beabadoobee. I think everybody would enjoy that. You know, in the year 2008, I actually decided on my original stage name of Daoud.
Do you realize you're doing this? I feel like you're
Doing
doing
what?
this. I feel like you're not even realizing this.
I'm doing what? What am I doing?
You're going staccato. You're turning into. You almost sound like David Lynch.
I don't look. Put some respect on David Lynch. Okay, I don't sound like him.
Well, now you don't. Well, anyways, I honestly think that we need to change Beabadoobee's name for her. As professional name designers, I think we have the pros and cons to do it.
Yes, I think in 2009, I was out on Virginia Beach actually, and the thing about being there out on Virginia Beach is it has a very particular name design
I'm gonna
that they.
stop. You keep referencing time periods where you. How old do you think you are?
2009, we were in Virginia Beach. We were visiting our grandma and grandpa, our mother's uncle and aunt, but we call them our grandma and grandpa.
I feel like I lost. Like, did I have a lobotomy or something like 4 seconds ago?
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is some fucking zany shit. I don't
know what's going on with. I don't know what's going on with you, bro. It's.
I swear I'm the normal one. I don't know what is up. Okay, but Beabadoobee new name. Like, what name do we give her? Let me start. I think we should call her. Actually, wait, no. We have a strategy for how to come up with good names.
Fuck, marry, and kill.
Not what I was thinking, but that's a good way to. Yeah.
Oh wait, what was your thing?
I was thinking when you ask what the other person's name is.
Oh, that's a great way. Okay. Yeah, let's play this game. Let's play this game.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay.
what is your name?
Richmard Figurasi?
That's not a real name. All right. Let's
It's-
have me play the game.
Okay, what's yours? What's your name? Time's ticking.
Sam Johnson.
You know that but you're not white. So no one's going to believe it. People are going to be like, "What's
Samir Janatsa.
There we go. Good name.
All right, let's do it
Ask me
again.
what my
What's your
name-
name?
Jordan Joestar. Jordan Joestar. Locked in.
Fictional character, last name. Technically, you did pass. You are a JoJo, so that could be a JoJo's name. So if you're writing a JoJo's, that could be the name.
But
So one of the classic examples is actually in television where they show a great way to find your name is by just looking at the stuff around you in the room and using that to construct your
really
name.
good. Play
You
the
know?
Family Guy clip.
Pit, tear, Griffin.
Pete Tier Griffin.
Fuck.
I'm Lois. Lois wasn't in the scene. But yeah, no, so that is
All right, let's try that exercise right now. Ask me my name.
What's your name?
Faber is Tumska.
That sucks. That's a bad.
Oh,
that
fuck.
sucked. Ask me.
Okay,
my name.
wait,
ask
wait.
me. Oh, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. What's your name?
Akif Ansari.
Uh,
Wait, that was good, right?
but that's already your name. You get that? Your parents came up with that one.
I look.
All right, ask me one.
What's your name? What's your name?
Milano Pepperidge.
Not bad. Those are two names, I think. So
Yes.
okay.
All right, look.
Ask me mine. One more.
All right. What's your name?
Joey Zigba.
Ding ding. Yep. It turns out that's a real name.
Yes.
Joey Zigba. He's actually the
one
producer of this episode.
There's one person on the planet with that name. Thank God. We were running low on that. Oh my God.
All right, man. Ask me mine, man.
What's yours? Name.
Cretin Bonanza.
You just said creatine bananas.
Yeah, that creatine.
You know what? It's kind of creatine of. It's kind of creative.
Creatine.
It's kind of creative.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, the other
Half
game.
points.
But so what should be now? The question is, using our tried and true strategy, what should be Beabadoobee's name? Oh, I got it. Doctor. Black and white. Pepper. I see nothing there. 0. Dr. Pepper 0. What's the ingredients on that cookie? Sugar. Dr. Pepper 0 sugar. Lock it in. Should that be your name?
You know, I think that would be a wonderful name to give her.
Awesome. Hooray. But wait, you're still doing the weird voice thing, but awesome.
What weird voice, dog?
I know. I get it. You're pretending to not know, but I swear I'm not crazy. I swear I'm not crazy. But yeah. So yeah, Dr. Pepper's so that's her name, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't think she'll get rage bait ever again, right?
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
We solved it. Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar, ladies and gentlemen. That is the new name for Beabadoobee. It is the name of a drink, but frankly, I do think okay.
She'll get by.
Unironically, Dr. Pepper 0 sugar is a better fucking game than
I think it's better
Beabadoobee.
than
You look at
Beabadoobee.
Beabadoobee and you're like, there's no way she could have a serious song. She's going like, ba ba da 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 da.
Yeah, meanwhile, she's making like depression lyrics.
And then she's like, I want to go and sing this song and I'm gonna know.
Yeah, it's just tonal whip clash.
Yeah.
That should be your name.
Your name that you pick when you're 12 should not be your name.
And
for
the
your
name
music.
you get bullied from the middle kindergartners.
That's a good name option.
Is better.
Your real name is
honestly the kindergartners, they're smart. Like they figure out the kids that are gay like 100 years in advance.
Yeah,
it's surprising.
Oh wait, I have another one. So NBA young boy, she could flip the script. She could call herself NFL young girl.
NFL old girl.
NFL old girl.
Oh my god.
Old woman.
Well, girl is opposite of man.
NFL old girl.
Awesome sauce. And it's way more syllables than Beabadoobee. You want as many syllables
It's
not serious. It's a terrible
I would never name my daughter Beabadoobee. What were her parents doing? Were they drinking something that almost made her lose the volume inside of her body? Gee, I wonder if there is something that you could folks, we're really worried about access to abortion rights and fitness and take it away.
I'm especially worried. I'm like, oh my god, what happens if they invent male pregnancy and I'm not going to be able to abort that thing? But tried and true, good thing I took some inspiration from my mommy and daddy, who drank a lot of Coke Zero when they were having me in the baby bards. And here's the thing is I actually read the back of Coke Zero. It's actually diet. It's diet Coke Zero. And because it's diet, it makes you skinnier. And I was like, God, how does that even work? How does it make you skinnier? And I realized what it does is when it's inside of you, it actually destroys volume inside of yourself. So here's the strat. You're a pregnant girl.
You live in a red state with no access to abortion.
And you don't have abortion. Drink a bunch of Coke Zero. Beep boo. That baby is out of there.
It's flushed out.
Destroyed by the... And then you're skinny too. Isn't that awesome? Well, like body positivity, whatever. But like, if you want to be skinny, that's your option.
I don't think there's a medical consensus on the things that you said.
Are you a doctor? I'm sorry. Am I talking to a doctor right
I'm
now?
not a doctor, but I do have a lot of experience talking to different doctors. Actually, in 1993, when I visited the offices of Dr. Schmockley, I learned a lot about how abortion can really happen, induced abortion due to different things. And I don't really think Coke Zero was on that list. And it's been a lot of years since then, but I believe that it's still not really going to be on that list anymore. I don't see how that would cause abortion. Because frankly, Coke Zero doesn't even cause Diet Coke, none of that. It doesn't even cause you to lose weight.
I've heard you talk time and time again, and I'm just like, you have a very punchable diaphragm. You know what I'm saying? I
don't understand what that means. I follow in the footsteps of Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi. Those people have provided a nonviolent path to express our emotions to other people.
I'm sorry. You should have checked those guys for your fashion sense. Why did you only check them for your diaphragm?
I find my fashion
you'll
sense...
admit that you're different, right? You're being so different. I'm just like,
different.
I was talking to Suhaib earlier. Now I feel like I'm talking to some alter ego.
I don't believe there's been anything different. I've been around for a pretty long time, ever since 1965. Today is actually my 60th birthday.
Have a heart attack so we can end the episode.
Well, folks, as your host, since I have the power to start and end an episode, I shall bid adieu. In recap, Beabadoobee, you should get a new name, as I did once, long time ago. I was once known as David, and now I am Daoud.
Wait. Why even call her Beabadoobee? Your name is Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Dr. Pepper
I would
Zero
never
Sugar.
Dead name.
If your name is Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, if your name is NFL Old Girl,
then
you
won't get bullied by the rage bait.
Wait, the original name was NBA Young Boy, not Young Man, so it should be Old Woman.
Oh dear Father, you are testing me.
I thought you were a Muslim.
Yalla, kill this man.
All right, well, that's enough of the podcast today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And join us next time for our Oscar special. Not Oscar the Grouch, the awards show. Okay, bye-bye.
Can't wait.